We live in an age of technology, and the more this is apparent when you look to the pocket in your phone, when you look above to the sky, when you watch this very video. And with such technology comes privacy and data that identifies you. It's beamed right across the globe through vast servers and satellites, most of these servers being located on American soil. It's generally known that it takes a decade for legislation to catch up with the pace of technology. You may have seen a recent video that made you cringe where members of Congress questioned Silicon Valley executives about privacy. But make no mistake, the scope for abuse is real. So real that one man felt compelled to expose it. Welcome to Downwide Books, and in today's video I'll be reviewing Edward Snowden's autobiography, Permanent Record, a tale of one man's rise and deliberate fall through the intelligence agencies of America. You may have heard of the whistleblower called Edward Snowden back in 2013. It was at this time he leaked NSA secrets to journalists from a hotel room in Hong Kong. Some days later, he revealed his identity to legitimize these documents, and soon after, his face was plastered across every news network. Within these pages, we learn his story, from the early beginnings in hacking, both in real life and through computers, right up to the darker days where he left his family and partner so he could expose perhaps one of the biggest secrets of the new millennia. It's a very touching and personal read from a highly successful man who traded everything he had to prove the very principles that his country was founded on had essentially been hacked themselves. Born in the USA in North Carolina, Edward Snowden was surrounded by the intelligence agencies he would later work for. In a world post 9/11, the landscape of these agencies was very different to what it would later become. From a very early age, Edward was fascinated with the terms of hacking, not just on computers, but also in real life, social hacking, finding ways, essentially, to cheat systems. He talks of the internet in an age where security was less of a worry. It was an open and free place where people shared ideas for the purpose of greater learning. Of course, the internet, we now know, is vast, expansive, and capable of a great many more things than its initial conception. It was never designed with such features in mind, but that in itself is another topic for another day. Edward Snowden comes across in this book as a patriotic and loving man who is proud of the principles his country was founded on. He excels through the ranks of computing and achieves numerous jobs within both the CIA and NSA intelligence communities, earning vast amounts of money in the process. He was only 30 years old when he leaked information that exposed the NSA's means of harvesting data and its unparalleled access to every computer on the planet. He sacrificed all he had to do this, leaving everyone in the dark, including his longtime partner Lindsay, while he fled to a hotel room in Hong Kong. It was there he met with journalists and explained what the documents he had meant and how they were being used not just against Americans, but against every country in the world. It's not only this vast breach of data that is spoken about, it's also the abuse he witnessed by NSA employees, some looking into people's accounts so they can browse deeply personal pictures and messages, sharing them with other staff and often celebrating their achievements. He ingeniously collected these documents through micro SD cards and then hid them with the use of a Rubik's Cube. Of course, he doesn't go into complete detail, but I find it amazing how something so harmless allowed for one of the biggest leaks of intelligence in history. Just one little Rubik's Cube hid that data while he walked off the base. So now it's that special point where I lay down a verdict on the telling of this extraordinary tale, and I must say, I really enjoyed it. This is a positive review. This book felt honest, it felt genuine, and in certain cases, very admirable. Snowden's leak opened the stages for discussions of privacy and data in a time where it was, and still is, desperately needed. He gave up near everything he had to expose a rampant abuse of the principles his country was founded on. Permanent Record by Edward Snowden. 88 out of 100. A great read that explains very well exactly why Snowden made the decisions that led to his exile. What can I say about this book? Good. Very good. Some people might be disappointed he doesn't go into too much detail about perhaps how he did some of the things he did, but nonetheless, he sounds like a very genuine man, and it was an incredible tale, and it was written very well. And quite a thrilling read. It's even though it's a real life story, it has a lot of tension and, a lot of abuse in certain cases of privacy, certainly. That's quite shocking, and I definitely recommend it to anyone interested in computer science or interested in what has happened, who knows, may still be happening in parts of the world. I'm Dan White. Thank you for watching Dan White Books. I will see you here again next week perhaps. Normally I'm doing these weekly now. If you want to follow me on Goodreads, the link will be below. If you'd like to subscribe, please subscribe. And if you'd like to buy this book, there will be a link below which will help support this channel. Thank you very much for watching. Good night.